talking about all the books I read in the month of March. Normally I don't make these videos because I don't read a lot and it's like 1 or 2 books, and I'm not gonna just sit up here and talk about this is the one book I read this month. That's just sad. But I've learned the key to reading more is you listen to the audio. So anyways, I actually have 4 books to show that I've actually read, and I actually did pretty good this month. And like I said, audiobooks are your friends when it comes to this. In no particular order, I actually just finished this yesterday. It was Confess by Colleen Hoover. I liked this book. I listened to the audiobook, obviously, but I followed along. Okay, so I kind of read it. I really like this book. I like the story behind it. About this girl, her name is Auburn, and she's kind of, I don't want to say she's new in the city, but she's somewhat new. She doesn't really know a lot of people. And she meets this guy named Owen, and he's this artist. And one thing that was really cool about this book was the whole like the confession idea, and he paints these paintings based off of these confessions that people give, and it was just so cool kind of just seeing like the different pieces of art and like the confessions. Like it'd be so cool if that exists in real life. I don't know, would you buy your own confession? I don't know, I think I'd be too scared. At least in my opinion alone, there are some parts where the characters are talking and it's just so cheesy. Normally if characters talk like that in real life with any book, okay, it's a little weird. Some of the lines in this book I just was like, this is a serious moment, but why do I find this funny? Anyways, I really like this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. I highly recommend it, especially if you just want like a quick little read. I will admit it's kind of heavy at some parts, but other than that, I really enjoyed this book and I highly suggest it. The next book I had, everyone raved about this book. Everybody loved this book and I just never read it. For a while there, I kind of got away from young adult fiction because a lot of it was just repetitive and I just couldn't get into it. But I finally picked up this one book because I just heard so many good things about it, and that was A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I liked it. I don't know if I can necessarily say I loved the book. I liked it. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Actually, this gave me Sarah J Maas vibes with The Court of Thorns and Roses. This book is nothing like it, but it kind of gave me those vibes, which made me really want to go back and reread it. But anyways, I really like this book. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it's dual perspective from the characters of Harper. She's supposed to be the Belle, and then we have Ren. He's supposed to be like the Beast. I really like the concept. I don't know if this is a spoiler, so I'm gonna post a picture down here, and I'm gonna talk about this, and when picture disappears, you can unmute the video. It was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and what was interesting about it, though, is that we don't meet the character Ren as, like, the Beast, like how all the other Beauty and the Beast retellings are. We see him slowly transform into that, and I think that was, like, a really cool thing, how she had to kind of like him as a person before he turned to this Beast. I don't know about this whole thing with Grey. I feel like there's gonna be a love triangle thing going, maybe just a little, because I like the character Grey. I didn't think I would. I think the next book probably should be from Grey's perspective. I'm not sure. Grey, Ren, and Harper. There really was not a character's book I was like, ugh, I want to read about you. I actually really liked this book. Just the whole premise of it and the whole idea. Like, there was more than just, oh, she needs to fall in love with him in order to break the curse. There was more to it, and it was really good. I can't wait to read the next book. And I'd give this probably another 4 out of 5 stars. And then the next book, the most anticipated book in March, and you probably already know it, and that is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Oh my gosh, guys, this book. I filmed a video about this. It's a 2-part video. I will link it down below. Go check it out. I talk all about this book. I love this book so much. Like I said, I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I kind of go into this in my video a little bit. I know what you're thinking. Why would you like this book? Like, Will Herondale's this book. A lot of it was because the Dark Artifices series just wasn't, like, cutting it for me. Like, I didn't like it. I don't know why. I was bored during that series. Not saying it's a bad series, just for me personally, I just couldn't really get into it as much. So I wasn't even gonna read this book, but then I started thinking, when I finished Clockwork Princess way back in 2013, I realized I need this book. I owe this to my 15-year-old self to pick this book up and read it, and I'm so glad I did. It was so good. Cassandra Clare's writing is amazing, and I liked the book. I loved the characters. There really wasn't a character I just dreaded reading about, and that's normally my problem with dual perspective books, and that's why I never really can get into them too much. A, there's way too many perspectives, or B, there's always those characters you really just don't care about, and it's like, oh, I gotta read through them, and just trying to get through their pages is just takes forever and stuff. But this book, there really was not a character. I loved it. Like, I just really liked the book, and I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I love this book. And then my last book that I read this month. This book was a little hard for me to read. I will admit, it was a little challenge of a book, and I'll get into that more once I talk about it a little bit more. But that book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I like this book. It took a while to get into it, and like I said, I've read a lot of mixed reviews about this. Like a lot of people say, oh, it's so boring, not gonna finish. I found the key to this book is you listen to the audiobook, because when I first started this book, I was kind of very confused. I mean, it's a fantasy book. It's not gonna be like, this is the world and everyone in it. You kind of gotta figure it out for yourself, and once you kind of get that down, it's a little easier to understand. I felt like it was slow, and I just had a hard time reading, so I listened to the audiobook. Now, it's important to note that this is an adult fantasy book, and the themes in it are pretty heavy. I don't recommend this to youngins to read it because it is quite heavy and stuff, and at times I even struggled with reading it at points. But besides that, I really liked the book. It was good. I can't wait for the next book. But like I said, the key to reading this book is definitely the audiobook. And I gave this, I think, again, a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, just to be clear, I know I give these books, well, I give them all 4 out of 5 stars. And that's not just me being generous and just giving all books 4 out of 5, because I don't normally do that. A lot of my books I actually rate 3 out of 5, but I just happened to be really lucky this month and just read a lot of good books. And so anyways, that is the books I read for this month. So write down in the comment below what the books you have read. I'm not going to talk about the books I plan to read because honestly, I plan them and then life happens, or I just don't feel like reading that anymore, and I don't want to say I'm going to read something and just not read it. Currently, I'm reading a few books and hope to discuss them with you next month. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button for more bookish conversations. Thank you for watching. Bye!